This is where it starts. Beneath the streets of Rome. Enter the city of Antioch. Find the secret relic. Bring it back to the Holy See. Defend the secret. They worshipped the giants.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle: The Order of Giants is a DLC to the amazing first-person shooter game released in 2024. It'll bring a new part to the story and promises to be as good as the original game. It's being developed by Machine Games and will be launched in September 4, 2025 to Xbox Series, PlayStation 5, and Windows.
The giants.
Spirit Stones. Shining stones imbued with humankind's never-ending dreams. Since time immemorial, this power has been the impetus for human wars.
Such an ominous...
Nioh 3 is the next game of this amazing action RPG series that was created in the Souls-like style, but with its own personality. It's being developed by Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo Games and is coming out early in 2026, but is only confirmed to PlayStation 5 and Windows so far. You can enjoy an instantaneous and seamless switch between two combat styles during battle, facing your enemies head-on with Samurai style and using quick movements and special techniques with Ninja style, all with a fast-paced combat and an immersive character developing with many builds, weapons, and much more.
How foolish of you.
And kindness. Take the easy times what shape us, nay. 'Tis how we rise to face the hard times what does that for us.
Forgive me, daughter. 'Twere my only choice.
I shall be the bringer of salvation.
The Witcher 4 is finally the new adventure of this beloved series. The game is being developed by the studio CD Projekt Red, just like the other games of the series, and is coming out probably in 2026 or later to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and Windows. The series is known for being an extremely immersive and massive RPG series, with hours and hours of content with a lot of quality. This new experience will be set after The Witcher 3. But the difference here is that the protagonist won't be Geralt anymore, but Ciri, an important character of the third game. Resident Evil Requiem is finally a totally new Resident Evil game announced. The game promises to be a new era of survival horror games, just like Resident Evil 7 was some years ago, and Resident Evil 2 Remake as well. Requiem promises to be different, with new characters, a new approach, but still a survival horror game mixed with action, and the first trailer is really insane. It's being developed by Capcom and is coming out in February 27, 2026 to Xbox Series, PlayStation 5, and Windows.
Alyssa died 8 years ago. Perhaps it's time for you to face the past.
Stay away from that!
It's all right.
Lunka! Don't hurt her!
The Blood of the Dawnwalker is the new game by the director of The Witcher 3. He left CD Projekt Red and is now creating a whole new game. The new studio is Rebel Wolves. They promise us to develop a AA game with the quality of a AAA. If you don't know, that's about how much money will be used in the development, and let's be honest, he knows how to make games. It'll be set in immersive open world filled with vampires, and in some moment, the protagonist will be also a half vampire. What makes it even more interesting? The gameplay will be fluid and with a lot of possibilities, and like The Witcher, you choose the destiny of the world by your decisions. What is always interesting when you want to replay the game. It's coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S in 2026.
Vampires didn't come to kill us. No, they came to rule. Not me, though. They tried to change me into one of them. But I became something else instead. Their worst nightmare.
His parents cut their own rope to save him. He watched them fall, then found his way off that mountain. He was 11 years old.
He then started a grand tour of every major boarding school in Britain.
Always at the top of his class.
Always at odds with authority, same thing in the Navy.
But what he did in Iceland...
What he did in Iceland was insubordination.
007 First Light is a new action stealth game of the famous agent James Bond, all with impressive graphics, and a gameplay that looks really fluid and fun, mixing stealth and frantic action moments. The studio developing the game is IO Interactive, and it's coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch 2, and PC in some moment of 2026. A thrilling espionage action-adventure game followed James Bond as a young, resourceful, and sometimes reckless recruit in MI6 training program and discover an origin story of the world's most famous spy.
James.
So you shouldn't have.
We're facing a situation of the
Every time.
She's not your friend, Bond. She's an asset.
With respect, Mom. To hell with that.
The castle has been sighted again. The Church's orders are absolute. These human sacrifices must be stopped.
We will track the ethereal castle, break its gates, and exterminate the creatures that dwell within. The Demon Lord himself will fall by our...
Bloodstained: The Scarlet Engagement is the new game of an amazing Metroidvania series. It's being developed by the studio Artplay and is confirmed to 2026, coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC. A Switch version wasn't confirmed yet, but I believe it'll be. Unravel the dark history of the Bloodstained universe and explore a hauntingly immersive 16th century England steeped in a 2.5D Gothic atmosphere, enthralling players in strategic battles, crafting, and exploration across a sprawling, cursed land. The previous game was an amazing Metroidvania experience for fans of old-school games, and this one promises to do a great job too.
With me! Cross!
Reaper! Tonight, we start our mission!
This is ridiculous. Please, come on. Are you one of them? You're here, but
Had enough yet?
No, Dad.
Invincible vs is a new fighting game, and now in the brutal and interesting universe of Invincible. The studio developing the game is Skybound Entertainment, and it's coming out in some moment of 2026 to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and Windows. For the fans of the series, as you can see, the game will be extremely brutal, just like it's in the series, so it'll probably be an interesting game for both fans of the series and fans of competitive fighting games, because it looks really fun.
Close.
You think you're the Harbinger. You might be.
Mortal Shell 2 is the sequel of a Souls-like game released in 2020 that wasn't a really big project, but the second game promises to be greater in all aspects, and it looks good. It's being developed by the studio Cold Symmetry, and is confirmed to Xbox Series, PlayStation 5, and Windows, and is planned to be released in some moment of 2026. An interesting Souls-like game for fans of hardcore action RPG. The first game had an interesting mechanic, and this one will keep it. That's using different shells, that gives you different features and possibilities.
Up you go! What are you doing?
Pragmata is a curious upcoming game. It promises to be a game with an immersive story and universe, with beautiful and realistic graphics, and a unique style. The game is being developed by Capcom and was supposed to be released some years ago already, but was postponed, and now it's confirmed to be released in some moment of 2026, but with no specific date yet, and it'll be released on Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5 and PC.
Targets identified. Neutralizing threats.
neutralize us?
Looks like we're gonna have to fight our way through. What the?
Bypassing first and second firewalls, hooking control protocols. Initiating hack!
Hey, D.I.
I said I am
Okay. Look, how about we call you Diana?
Diana?
A clue, a lead. What? Eureka! This is a real mouse changer. Time to play detective.
Mouse PI for Hire is a first-person shooter with investigation mechanics in the universe of Mickey. Yeah, you heard it right, Mickey Mouse. It's being developed by the studio Fumi Games and shall be released still in 2025, but with no release date yet, and it'll be available on PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, and Windows. Join private investigator Jack Pepper on a guns-blazing, jazz-fueled adventure in Mouse PI. Mouse combines the charm of hand-drawn rubber hose animation inspired by the classic cartoons of the 1930s with the adrenaline and action of an explosive first-person shooter. The game looks stylish and fun, and I'm really hyped about it.
Looks like we just hit the jackpot.
Scott Pilgrim X is a new beat-em-up game in this beloved universe. It's being developed by the studio Tribute Games and is planned to be released in 2026 and is coming to PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch, and Windows. An action-adventure game where players can fight as Scott Pilgrim, Ramona Flowers, and more as they battle through the fractured time and space of Toronto. The combat gameplay is driven by instinct and improvisation, a hectic ballet of fists and flair that rewards strategy, spontaneity, and a good bit of brawling chaos.
Anymore. Things have changed.
Gears of War Reloaded is another remaster of the classic first game of this iconic third-person shooter series. It's going to be an improved version of the Ultimate Edition released in 2015, but it's now for the first time coming out to a PlayStation console, PlayStation 5, and also Xbox Series and Windows, day one on Xbox Game Pass in August 26, 2025.
Nausea, baby!
This is gonna be awesome.
Form up!
Residence: A Plague Tale Legacy is a new game of the acclaimed series Plague Tale, with 2 insane games. The new game is going to be a prequel, and promises to be a story-rich experience just like the first 2 games. It's being developed by the studio Asobo Studio, and is coming out in some moment of 2026 to Xbox Series, PlayStation 5, and Windows, day 1 on Xbox Game Pass. So for the ones that played the first games, that are amazing, this one promises to bring this universe to a whole new level. Persona 4 Revival is the remake of the acclaimed RPG experience, a game with an immersive universe, thrilling story, with good characters, and an amazing plot. The studio developing it is Atlus, the original studio of the game, and it's coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and Windows, and despite there's no release date yet, it's coming day 1 to Xbox Game Pass. Stranger Than Heaven is the new game of the studio responsible for the Yakuza series, a beloved studio that really knows how to do a great story. The studio is Ryuga Gotoku, and for now we still don't know when the game is coming out, and neither the platforms, but I'd say 2026, and probably Xbox Series, PlayStation 5, Switch 2, and Windows. The story will be set in Japan, in the year 1943 during the Second World War, but it doesn't look like it's going to be about war, but we'll need to wait to see more.
Got a name?
Mako Daito.
Daito. A Jap then, huh?
Don't I look like one?
You're not? So, what are you then?
さあな、俺が知りてえや。
The great Silkovsky once said, "One could count 1,000,000 billion suns in the known universe. So why do we deny other intelligent beings? It is said, if they were out there, they would have visited Earth.
Atomic Heart 2 is the sequel of an original and interesting first-person shooter RPG game released some years ago. The second game promises to improve the weak points of the first game, and also bring better graphics, a more fluid gameplay, and a more immersive open world, since it was the biggest flaw of the first game for me. The studio developing it is Munfish, and it's coming out to PC and consoles, which consoles are not confirmed, but probably all of the current generation.
Maybe they will visit us, but time has not come yet for this. The dawn of a new era. The era of Atomic Heart 2.
Time. For some,
heals. For others, it wounds.
Code Vein 2 is a sequel of a beloved Souls-like game released in 2019. It's being developed by Bandai Namco Studios and is planned to be released in some moment of 2026 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and Windows. An epic adventure awaits, where you and your chosen partners explore a vast world, face fierce battles against powerful enemies, and uncover an epic story that transcends time. So if you played the original one and enjoyed, this one promises to be even greater.
Sense of ruin. In this time, maybe the next, you'll find how to save us all.
Super Meat Boy 3D is exactly what the name says, a new game of this hardcore platformer series, and for the first time, in a totally 3D gameplay. So for the fans of the original game, that's an excellent indie platformer game, mixing a lot of charisma with a challenging gameplay. This one looks really interesting and is surely a game that I'll like to play. It's being developed by the studio Sluggerfly and Team Meat, and is coming out in the start of 2026 to Xbox Series, PlayStation 5, and Windows. Marvel Token Fighting Souls is a new fighting game with the beloved Marvel characters, and it's a game that many fighting games fans are really excited about. The studio developing the game is Arc System Works, and it'll be released only on PlayStation 5 and Windows in some moment of 2026. The game will have an insane PvP mode with the classic 1v1 fights, but also fights up to 4v4 players in each match, what promises to be really insane. The studio developing it is famous for developing games like Guilty Gear and Dragon Ball FighterZ, amazing competitive fighting games, so that's why this game is immensely hyped already.
주권 국가의 자주적 결정을 누가 허락하는가? 만약 이 결정이 패권 국가의 특정 정치 집단의 이익을 저해한다면 당신의 특정 행동이 대중의 의사결정에 영향을 미칠 수 있으며 반대로 누군가는 당신의 의사결정에 영향을 주려 한다는 것을 인지할 때
Mutant Two Hearts is a new stealth action game set in Korea. The studio developing it is EVR Studio, and it's coming out in some moment of 2026 to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and Windows. A K-pop star steps into the spotlight as a soldier strikes from the shadows. When two opposite worlds collide, a single truth emerges. An interesting game for fans of stealth action games, mixing good graphics with an interesting plot and immersive gameplay.
자신만의 온전한 입장을 세울 수 있지 않을까? 당신의 입장은 온전한 본인의 판단인가? 누군가 당신의 분노를 이용한다.
Stay here. Stand guard.
If you push too much, you might unleash the beast.
Dying Like the Beast is a standalone adventure from the original games, and it's being developed by Techland. In case you don't know how it works, it's an open world filled with zombies, so you need to survive using different types of weapons, which you can explore for more. But the most interesting part of the game is the gameplay itself, with a first-person camera and insane parkour movements. For the ones who like especially the first Dying Light, you should keep an eye out for this game, and it's coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and Windows in August 21st, 2025.
He's experimenting on humans like they're lab rats. God only knows what the Baron's planning to do with those monsters.
We begin by hearing an old, wise-sounding voice. And we see a quiet, peaceful setting. This will make our game seem big and important. Something must break the serenity. Will this creature be in the game? No. Say goodbye to it forever. Suddenly, and for no reason, people running.
The Outer Worlds 2 is a new sci-fi FPS RPG, and will obviously be a sequel to the first game, and it's again being developed by Obsidian Entertainment. We know that the Obsidian released Avowed this year, and now they're surely working on the development of the Outer Worlds 2, and it's probably going to be in the same style of the original game, a fun open-world adventure. And it's coming out in October 29, 2025, and it's confirmed to Xbox Series X and S, Windows, and PlayStation 5, so if you played the first one on PlayStation and thought that the second wouldn't be there, yes, it will.
And like all good sequels, we've included everything that should have been in the first game. More action. More weapons. And more graphics. In 2025.
Silent Hill F is the totally new Silent Hill game after more than 10 years. I'm not counting the short message here. That is not a true Silent Hill, to be honest. The game is being developed by the studio Neobards Entertainment Limited and is coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Windows, and it's confirmed to September 25th, 2025. For the first time in the main series, the game won't be set in Silent Hills. Yes, it'll be set in Japan, as you can see. Despite that, we can see that it looks bizarre, just like a Silent Hills game gotta be, and they promised that it's going to be a true Silent Hill experience, a true survival horror, with bizarre creatures and an immersive and unsettling story.
Hinako, どこにいるの? 一人は嫌だよ。寂しいよ。 ずっと一緒だよって。
Welcome to Drawbridge, Sam, and to the DHV Magellan, our mobile base of operations. Come on, don't act like you don't see it. A lot of things changed after you went off on your own, especially especially within the UCA. Bridge is no longer overseas.
Death Stranding 2 is the sequel of the first Death Stranding, a very original game by the way. The game is obviously being developed by Kojima Studios, so prepare for a crazy and immersive story. The core of the game will be almost the same for what we know, but we'll obviously see some new features. After connecting everyone in the first game, we'll see the consequences of this deed in this game, and also explore a whole new area as we deliver and connect other people. The first game was once an exclusive of PS4, but today we can also play on Xbox Series or PC, as it's now a Kojima's game, and not Sony's anymore. Death Stranding 2 is coming in June 26, 2025, only on PlayStation 5, but I believe it's going to be released on PC and Xbox in the future.
World divided, made whole. With a few. The UCA's precursor, the United States of America, had a prominent gun culture. A distinctly American philosophy, and one which would appear to have spread to this continent.
This city is a miracle of progress. A finely tuned, delicately balanced machine. But it only takes one rebellious little gear to ruin it.
Clockwork Revolution is a new FPS game inspired in the classic and iconic BioShock. The game is being developed by the studio Inxile Entertainment, a Xbox game studio, and is confirmed to Xbox Series X and S, and Windows. The release date is not confirmed yet, but is believed to be in 2025 or 2026. Embark on a grand adventure in the steampunk metropolis of Avalon, wielding an incredible invention that allows you to travel into the past and influence key events, altering the course of history. So if you like FPS games with an interesting storyline and a good combat, this is a game that you should keep an eye out for. In my opinion, it looks promising.
And well armed.
Let's go and end a few arguments. Time. And if they can rewrite history, they can rewrite us. But look who just found Mummy's keys. Now I can...
Hollow Knight Silksong is the sequel of the acclaimed original game. To be honest, this game was announced a long time ago, but no, it wasn't cancelled. So in the Nintendo Direct, the game was finally confirmed to 2025, but with no date yet. The game is being developed by the studio Team Cherry, just like the original game. And it's coming out to Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4 and 5, Nintendo Switch 1 and 2, and PC. The game will be set in the same style of the original game, a 2D hardcore Metroidvania with extreme quality and originality, a fluid but simple gameplay, yet hard and stylish. The graphics of the game are insane, set in a dark universe with a lot of charisma and personality.
Focus your attention.
Chronos: The New Dawn is a new survival horror developed by the studio Bloober Team. If you don't know, it's the studio that developed the remake of the beloved Silent Hill 2, and they did a great job there, so I'm curious to see the final version of the game. Some things that are extremely important in a survival horror game are visuals of enemies and environments, gameplay, immersion, a good combat in case the game got a combat system, and a good story. And this game seems to have all of these things. Of course we'll need to see it for real to really know how it's going to be, but it looks good in the trailer. And the story will be immersive and with time travel features, what's always complex to do. And it's coming out in 2025 to Xbox Series XS, PS5, and Windows.
Was in a state of suppressed recomposition. The behavior pattern of the orphans populating the area is highly unusual. They seem to act more consistently, in coordination.
Destroying the nest is now a priority.
Solo Leveling Arise Overdrive is a new action RPG game of this beloved series. It's being developed by the studio Netmarble Neo and is planned to be released still in 2025 but only on PC initially and later in 2026 to Xbox Series, but more platforms may be confirmed in the future. Meet fan favorite hunters from the original webtoon, including Choi Jung-in, the ultimate hunter, Baek Yuno, a hunter with a beast transformation, and the remarkable Cha Hae-in. Ill is a first-person horror game that's even hard to believe it's real. The game is being developed by the studios Moonfish and Team Cloud and is being developed for some years already, as it was first announced in 2021 and many people thought that it had been cancelled, but it seems it's still standing and is coming out to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and Windows with no release date yet. But if it's as good as it looks, it'll be one of the scariest video games ever released.
All of the men in this room are bound by blood. This is a family. And in this family, we follow a code of honor. It is not forgiving. To be to deceit do not exist among us. Do you wish to commit yourself? Life.
Mafia: The Old Country is the fourth game of an acclaimed and beloved series. I mean, the third game is not that beloved, but there are some fans of it too. The game is being developed by the studio Hangar 13, the studio responsible for Mafia 3. As I said, it's not the most beloved game, but they also did Mafia 1 Remake. That's an excellent game, and now it'll be their new chance of creating a good story. The game will be released in August 8, 2025 to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and Windows. The game will be set before of the other games, in the start of 20th century, and promises to be a game with a great storytelling like the first two games.
sorry. I've just been so depressed lately.
You know, it would fix everything. Humansupreme.
High on Life 2 is the sequel of an original and charismatic first-person shooter game being developed by the studio Squanch Games and is coming out in the end of 2025 to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and Windows, coming day one to Xbox Game Pass. An intergalactic conspiracy threatens the fate of humanity. Team up with a wide cast of talking alien guns as you shoot, stab, and skate your way through the exotic locales to take down the bad guys and save your favorite species, humans.
Humans are barely sentient. Scientists have done studies, and their brains are like half the size of ours.
Beast of Reincarnation is a new action RPG game being developed by the studio Game Freak, yes, the same studio of the Pokemon games, and is planned to be released in some moment of 2026 to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and Windows, day one on Xbox Game Pass. Explore what it means to be human in Beast of Reincarnation, an expansive one-person, one-dog action RPG built around demanding technical combat. So if you're a fan of Souls-like games, keep an eye out for this one, it looks really interesting.
Fujigo Emma, お前こそが輪廻の獣を滅ぼす刃となる。But you are hunting. Still think you're the hunter?
Ghost of Yodi is the sequel of the acclaimed game Ghost of Tsushima, and now we're going to play in an adventure set over 300 years later. The game is being developed by Sucker Punch Productions, and the players will explore the lands and the surroundings of Yodi and will see different types of environments through the game, since overgrown areas to cold and snowy places, all that set in the year 1603, with amazing graphics and a huge open world to explore. The first game was really beautiful, so I believe this one will be even more, and the release date was finally announced, and it's October 2nd, 2025, and it's coming out for PlayStation 5.
What are we going to do with this one, Saito? I'm sorry it came to this, little wolf.
Situ Rainu. Why do you always call me that?
Welcome to the Guild. We have been expecting you. Please, follow me. You already know us as a global tech leader. Our software, our systems, combined with our skilled team, is designed to save lives. Your years of service have shown you the importance of our work.
Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is the new game of this immense first-person shooter series, and for the happiness and sadness of some, the series is coming back to a futuristic style, the most hated Call of Duty era. But now let's see if they'll create something better now. It's being developed by Activision Studios, and it's coming out in some moment of 2025 to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and Windows, but a Nintendo Switch 2 version may be confirmed in the future.
Havoc across the world. The plot was ultimately thwarted through the efforts of a sole ninja. However, the Dark Dragon's husk remained, and from this husk fell an endless downpour of...
Ninja Gaiden 4 is the returning of an old and acclaimed hack-and-slash series. The new game is being developed by the studios Platinum Games, Team Ninja, and Koei Tecmo Games, and promises to be the great returning of the series, that also received a version black to Ninja Gaiden 2 in the same day it was announced, and there's also a new 2D game announced, that looks sick. In the new game we'll play as Ryu Hayabusa, but also a new character, with technological gadgets and a whole new style of combat. So I must say that it really got my attention, and it's coming out to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and Windows, in October 20th, 2025, directly to Xbox Game Pass.
Free has its consequences. Sayori.
Ryu, there's something I need your help with.
This place was always dangerous. And weird. Policy and procedure used to keep us in. We need a new approach.
FBC Firebreak is a game that will probably surprise you. Well, it's a co-op FPS game, up to 3 players in the universe of Alan Wake and Control. Yes, the Remedy games. It's obviously being developed by Remedy Entertainment, and it'll be released in June 17, 2025 to Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and Windows. A 3-player cooperative first-person shooter set within a mysterious federal agency under assault by otherworldly forces. So if you like the mysteries of this dark and interesting universe, and also like to play co-op FPS games with your friends, this is surely an experience you gotta have. Or even in case you don't know the universe, but like mysterious stories, this one shall be insane.
Welcome to Firebreak.
Mayday! Mayday! Hope 1 to mission control, we're falling! Thomas, the ship's breaking apart! There's no time! Evacuate! Now! Thomas, come in!
Aphelion is a new action-adventure sci-fi game. It's being developed by the studio of Life is Strange series, the studio Don't Nod, and is coming out in some moment of 2026 to Xbox Series, PlayStation 5, and Windows, directly to Xbox Game Pass. Stranded on a frozen planet, astronaut Ariane must brave rugged landscapes and shifting realities to rescue her wounded partner, Thomas. This action-packed sci-fi adventure blends exploration, traversal, and tense stealth gameplay.
You sacrificed everything for a new world, to save mankind. And I'll always love you for that.
Let's see your best then, eh?
Swordplay is a game of strength.
Onimusha Way of the Sword is the new game of a classic and acclaimed series. It's a hack-and-slash game with some RPG mechanics. The old ones are really good and immersive, with an interesting and unique story and storytelling. The game is being developed by Capcom. It will be set in a medieval Japan, mixing reality with fantasy, with a fast and stylish combat style. And if you didn't know the series, I recommend you to play the classic games. They're really good even to this day. I'm looking forward to play this new game of the series, and it all looks so beautiful. Look at these graphics, bro. Insane, isn't? And the game is coming out in 2026 to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and Windows.
And you can bring as many friends as you want. Not good.
Let's see your best then, eh?
Maだまだ!
Ninja Gaiden Ragebound is surely going to be a nostalgic experience for the fans of the original Ninja Gaiden games. It'll be set in 2D stages, with a fast combat style, mixing the original game style with new movements and graphics. It's being developed by the studio The Game Kitchen, and as a retro gamer I must say that this looks insane for me, so I'm really excited about this game. This new graphic style looks ravishing, mixing cartoon and pixel art, riveting. So if you, just like me, are a fan of old school games, I think you should keep an eye out for this new version of Ninja Gaiden. And the game is coming out in July 31st, 2025, PlayStation 4 and 5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and Windows.